today. I don't usually wear a tie doing things like this. Hi, it's Bernie Slayton here. Thank you for joining me on Facebook and YouTube Live. And thanks as always to the sponsors, Galaxy Blinds, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Smith & Friends Estate Agents, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Advanced Utility Solutions, Dovecot, Ultra Build and TGM Cars. They brought a team today for the derby game, although they were questioning, is it a derby game? Of course it's a derby game, they just up the road, aren't they? Darlington, Hartlepool, Sunderland and Newcastle, all derby games when I played. I don't think it's changed. Dieng, Clark, Hackney, Laugh, Jones, Ailing, Morris, Azaz, Conway, Edmondson and Borges was the lineup, the starting 11. And on the bench was Saul Bryn, Belaza, McGree, Bazog, Dick Steele, Hamilton, Hunt, McCabe and Doak. What game did I see? I seen both teams, lots of the ball. Excuse me, I've just rushed in. Both of them flatter to deceive, both of them lack penetration. 5 minutes in, we had a golden opportunity. Ball gets swung in for the right. Conway, he's up there. For me, must score. And he hits the bar. Downward header, it's a goal. The kid would never done earthly. And that would have been a perfect start, and then it could have changed the whole dynamics of the game, scoring so early. And then 24 minutes in, I heard about this lad Riggs before the game. There was Sunderland fans sitting behind me who were season ticket holders saying, oh, watch the boy Riggs, he won't be here long, he's some player. And lo and behold, he scores the goal. The goal, 20-odd minutes, 24 minutes in, the ball's went down the inside right. It's not a perfect shot, and it's sort of a deflected, and Deng's dived at it. Initially, I thought Deng had spilled it, but he didn't. He smothered it, and the lad just nicked it off him, and then the big man Riggs sort of a backheeled it into the empty net. Good finish for their point of view, poor from ours. Second half, both teams, loads of industry, loads of huffing and puffing, but no real threat at either goal. I think they had 2 efforts on goal, and we had 1. That for me sums it up. They did have a free kick that went over the wall, and Dieng was rooted, and it hit the right hand post on the outskirts of the post. That was it. They held on. They're delighted with the 3 points. Us, on the other hand, disappointed. Why? Because in the last third we still we're still stuttering in the last third. Like I'm with my words at the minute. The wingers, Jones, Azaz was pulling to the left, Jones on the right. Not enough quality in. They had Patrick Roberts on the right, they had the lad Mundo, is it Romain Mundo, if that's how you pronounce the last name, on the left. Both of them were causing havoc, cutting in onto the favoured foots, getting the ball in, having shots off. We, on the other hand, very seldom get. The only ball of any note was the ball that was whipped in, as I mentioned, when we hit the bar. But that apart, no, it's just the same old. Previous games we've created a host of chances, but today there weren't a lot of chances. As I say, I use flatting to deceive. Lot of the ball, but no doing nothing with it. 10 passes along the back line is not going to get you a goal. And then when we hit it long, if the end hits it long, the odds are their centre-backs will win it. I know we try to play it wide when Laugh and Conway sort of went in the wide position left and right, but again, no aerial threat, and they were just eating it up. And so disappointing. I mean, if you look at the stats now, we've played 6, we've got 8 points, we've won 2, we've drawn 2, we've lost 2. We're sitting 12th in the league. Still early days, I know that. But we could have been off to a better start. And then some of the big guns are going to start coming in now. We play Stoke next. They're in turmoil. I think they get beat today. They sacked a manager last week. After that, all the big guns we play. Some tough games coming up. If you could have cherry-picked the opening 4 or 5 games or 6 games, you'd have cherry-picked 5 of them. But today, getting beaten at any derby game is disappointing. I was there, obviously. I have to say, great atmosphere. The Borough fans were way up in the top of the stand. It was similar to St James's Park, where the fans are perched right up the top. They made a lot of noise, but 40,000 Sunderland fans made a lot of noise as well. So it was a great atmosphere. But disappointing. Yeah, I'm going to get through these. I've been rabbiting on. to be respectful to the people that get involved. I couldn't watch the end. I walked out the bookies and went home. That's for Enzo. So Enzo's faffy happy. Craig Langstaff says, evening Bernie, we are so predictable and easy to play against. We never shoot, just pass the ball sideways, and team just sit back by me and give us no space, and we look absolutely clueless on how to break them down. Jones will never make a football as long as he lives. Get rid of him and play Doak. I think Doak's certainty. Azaz is not up to it. Drop him for Gilbert. Latty Laugh is being average. Latty Laugh got a heavy challenge early doors. I don't know if he really recovered for that. Not making an excuse, but he eventually get taken off. We should flog him to Ipswich in January. We might be, you never know. I says on here, the last Facebook Live, if Jones doesn't get his act together, he's going to be out the team, and Doak's going to get in. And I can see that happening now. I says Azaz will be out the team if he doesn't get his act together. And he could well be out. Well, McGree's on the bench. I don't know why he never come on today, McGree, but McGree, he is odds on to come back on the left. And then I'll tell you now, Hayden Hackney has to start hitting the ground as well and start doing his stuff. He had a few bad passes today, more than a few. I'm a Hackney fan, by the way, but he had a few bad passes, duffers. And then he'd one or two shots. One was a daisy cutter, but you could have threw your cap in it. Maybe, I don't even think it was off target, but not good enough. But they three guys I mentioned, they have to really get their act together. Because I'm looking at Morris. He's more industrious, try to be more creative. And Howson could come in and do a job in the midfield, just as a holding player. Let Morris go forward more. But the problem we've got is the wide positions. And Doak is a certainty to come in for Jones. We cannot continually play somebody out there who's hitty, missy, one good ball, 5 bad balls. It's not good enough. It's not good. And on the left, we're out of sync, because Azaz, I don't think, is a left winger. So yeah, I just think today was disappointing. Any game getting beat is disappointing. But in a derby game, which I know the value of and how important it is for the fan in the street. I was brought up with derbies in Glasgow, Celtic Rangers. I came to England. I loved playing against Newcastle, Sunderland, had to pull down, scored against them, loved it, passion. I still think we're lightweight. I mean, they weren't a big physical team like last week, but they still went in there and they clattered a few years. The team, if you... Did I mention that? Yeah, I did mention teams because it was a team sheet. I'm not used to a team sheet. I don't get a team sheet at the Riverside and I host the lounge and they get a team sheet at Sunderland. What's the point of having McGree on the bench if he doesn't come on? Absolute rubbish today. I don't know the answer to your question. I could only surmise, but I can't even surmise and guess because my pal says, oh, well, he'll be injured. Well, if he's injured, he shouldn't be on the bench. Get him on. Try to get him a bit of match fitness in. And there's nobody exactly keeping McGree out, is there now? And Mohammed says, hi, Bernie Jocelyn. I hope you're okay, pal. And you, Mohammed. Embarrassing result. Carrick's missing he's missing Dank here. Unless coaching self we got now. We've gone backwards. How long will Carrick last in the job? He was laughing in the press conference after the game. That was an insult. Sorry to the fans. Carrick was laughing after today's game. Seriously? I say I don't listen to managers' interviews or coaches because I've nothing really to say. It's all PR stuff and keep things right. And laughing, are you sure he was laughing? Anybody else see Michael Carrick laughing at today's press conference? Surely not. You don't laugh after a defeat against Sunderland. And the manner in which we did it, we could have played to next week and not scored a goal. It was one of those games, get the ball, play it along the back line, get it midfield or hit it long, and then we lose out to the big lads at the back. One shot on target, not good enough. As I say, the chance that Conway had, he should have scored. He'll know that, the lad will know that as soon as he headers it, but hey, I wasn't the greatest in there, but you headed it downwards, that's the technique. And the odds are you'll score, but he's hit it high, middle of the goal, it's clipped the bar. And that's as near as we came. Afternoon from Toronto, hiya, is it Mally Handley from Toronto. Getting sick of this predictable walking pace, literal football, absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking today. Borges looked static. He was on the left. McGree on the bench again. Jones, as Hackney, should not be in the first team selection, in my opinion. Well, I've said that. And I've nothing against any of them. On their day, they can all be good, and they all are good. But this season, they've not set the header alight. We're 6 league games in. We're not scoring enough goals. We're not creating enough chances. And we need to start, if it doesn't work, we need to change it. And change our brand of football. Start being more direct. Playing it earlier rather than this delay, and then pass it. And give it back to the opposition. In my opinion, they lack pace and creativity. Not sure how much patience Steve Gibson has with Carrick after heavy investment this summer. 3 tough games against Stoke. Stoke should be well, we hope it's a win. West Brom, who are top of the league, they were winning as a come on here. And Watford away, coming up, yeah, you're right. And then we've got Sheffield United thrown in there as well, haven't we? I've got zero confidence of getting a result next week against Stoke. If Carrick doesn't sort this out, then he needs to go because I'm bored. And there is no way with this squad we should be ponderous. I agree with that as well. But as I say, I just look at the stats and I think, well, someone only scored 1 goal in open play in 6 games. 1 goal in open play. Think about it. Take it in. 1 goal in open play. 2 penalties, 2 set pieces, an own goal, and then last week Conway scored a good goal when the ball was over the top failing. It was a route 1 ball, nothing fancy, no fanning about, ball over the top, get in, back 4 caught square. He ran in, kept his cool composure, thank you very much. I would say Latty Laugh and Conway worked their asses off today. Some of it probably running for the sake of it, but there was times that they tried their damnedest, but no real, apart from the header, no real efforts in goal. I think the service to the strikers is poor. It has to be a certain kind of service. You can't just launch it when you're wide position because in the air, the big centre-backs will just swallow it up. I think Hackney and Morris are too much similar players. Joey Henry, hiya Joey, and Joey travels the country and has done for many, many years at Middlesbrough, and she knows her stuff, travels up and down the country, Europe, everywhere. That's what I'm saying, Joey. I think it's going to be Hackney and Morris, and I think Howson might come back into the fold. You just sit there, and Morris or Hackney has to be the one that sparks and goes forward, trying to get goals. But I'd be saying to Morris and Hackney, look, 2 years are fighting for your position. One is need to grasp it. By that I mean creating things with the guys in front, box-to-box player, really put a shift in, and you need to start scoring goals. And if you don't, you're out of the team. I think as simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's simplistic words, but then they can't hide and everybody knows what you've said them. As I say, Bruce used to put in the papers, Bruce Rare used to tell the public what he told us behind the scenes. Yeah, I've told Bernie Slave and Archie Stevens I want 25 this season. Midfield, I've told them I want 10 goals off them. The defenders, Pallister, Mowbray, Cooter Parkinson, I expect set pieces, I expect 3 to 5 off them. He used to put it out there. He'd tell you first, then he would tell the press. Puts you under pressure, but it's a nice pressure because you know everybody knows what you're meant to achieve. And then you need balls. I'm only 30. I'm losing my hair. And how can we play Dieng to Clark, to Edmondson, to Ayling, back to Clark, pass slow. I'm afraid that's the way we operate. That's the way we play. We hit a few long balls today, but we never won any of them when the ball was in flight. But yeah, I don't get it. I still don't get it. We ain't Man City. We never will be Man City. We're not very good at it. We take chances. We take risks. And a few times we've been punished. Good evening, Bernie. Lad, I hope you're good. I am, who's that for? Is it Beza Rosa, is it? Yeah, Beza Rosa. Good evening, Bernie. I hope you're good. Shame about the result, but a more ruthless streak about is required. What's going on with Rail McGree? I expect to see him on the side. I agree, McGree. But rhythmical. How McGree cannot get into this team? The team's been huffing and puffing since the start of the season. As I say, 2 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses. It's not exactly promotional form, is it? And we're 7 points behind Sunderland, 8 behind West Brom if they won the day. So Anthony Morton says, unbelievably disappointed with this today. We're so predictable, slow, and offer absolutely nothing going forward. 1+ was Carrick finally making changes at the normal time instead of giving players 11 minutes. Onwards and upwards, Burnley up the bar. I hope you're right, Anthony. As I say, listen, I've got people writing here. I might not get them. If I don't, I'll do them in the Total BS podcast this Monday. Andy Payton, my guest, by the way, former Borough, Celtic, Burnley, Hull City centre forward. And there's someone saying, Carrick, he's lost the plot, get him out. Calm down, away, man. We're 6 games in. We're criticising now, but come on. Give the lad 12, 14 games and we'll get the idea where we're going. But I know the majority of the opinions that I'm hearing and reading and seeing is that we're messing about the back and we're going nowhere. It's pass, 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 then give the ball to the opposition. Or pass, 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 ends up out of play. No good. Need a product. Wingers have to cross the ball, have to create. Forwards need to get chances to score goals. And if you're not doing that, then they shouldn't have been in the team. Latte Laugh has lost his interest, not the same player. Since Ipswich came in. Stoke lost on Friday 3-1. Yeah, they did, Mohammed. Jason Cooling says, too slow, boring, poor finishing. And the rest of the league know how to beat us. No plan B, Jason. Yeah, I think we are predictable. I thought we still passed it along the back line, fanning about, I call it. But I thought we did it a bit quicker today. But still not quite enough. They did. As I say, Patrick Roberts, who we brought here, he played for Celtic, Man City player, came here on loan under Neil Warnock, who he was never going to fit in a Neil Warnock team. Neil Warnock didn't like football. And that's not a derogatory comment. Neil Warnock, very good at his job and vastly experienced and vastly successful, but his style and brand didn't suit Patrick Roberts. Somebody thrust it upon him. He eventually went, no, get rid of him. He's at Sunderland. Patrick Roberts, I think he scored 1 this season, but he was a handful. On the right, dropping the shoulder, cutting in, beating 2 and 3 men. He got 1 shot and he whipped it and it looked as if it was destined for right-hand corner. Thankfully, it missed the target. Mundo on the left, he was a handful. The only one thing I couldn't get, is it Rumen, Mundo, their left-sided winger. He was fast, he was direct. Not really direct, kept cutting in. I was thinking, this boy must be about 20 odd. He's up against Ailing, who's 30 odd. Not once did he ping it by him, tear him up, and then he could have got it back on his right foot. Saying that Ailing's an old pro, he was showing him inside, but I'm sure the lad, if he used his noggin, he would have thought, hey, 30 odd, I'll get this by him, but he never. But anyway, they had 2 wingers and outlets to get balls in the box and create a bit of havoc in there, whereas we didn't. Predictable. Get it away to Jones. Jones hit the first man. Jones turns. Jones plays it back. There's not enough zit and zest when we're passing it. The pass, then back to the goalkeeper, and then start again is now boring, Bernie. Well, I said that last season, probably season before. No, last season I said it in this season. I totally agree. Too slow, boring, poor finishing. Yeah. So we've all seen the same picture. We've got absolutely no end product, a plan B. Trevor Chavel says, playing catch up again like last season. I'm so frustrated. We're taking our chances in front of goal, or we're not taking our chances in front of goal. I'm also getting really annoyed now. Trevor Chavel. I get it. I'm frustrated. I'm not writing us off, because you'd be very, very silly to write us off with 6 games in. But we were last season was a nightmare start. 7 games in, never won a game. We have won 2, so that's a plus for last season. But we've lost 2 and drawn 2. And we're not scoring a lot. We've only scored 1 not in play. That don't forget, that's not just an opinion, that's a fact. That's a statistic. 1 in open play. The other 2 penalties. The other 2 set pieces. 1 own goal. Come on. Before we were creating loads of chances and missing them. Today, we never created a lot of chances. We got 1. 1 on target. Today was no good for my anxiety and blood pressure. Oh no, I would say if you've got any issue with adrenaline too high and heart pumping. Don't watch the borough, for God's sake. Leave it out. Just chill. What do you think we can do? Break these teams down, Bernie? Maybe a change of formation. Jason, 2 wingers. I'll solve the problem. Sit the back line, wait fanning about, wait taking chances or risks. We get it. If Dieng plays it left or right to the full-backs, they get turned and they play up the flank. Sunderland did that today. A lot of balls up the flank. That's the best ball in the game. Cooper and Parkinson used to do it under Bruce Rear. So we had a shape. The idea, get it there as quick as you can. If you get turned, play up the flank. Best ball in the game. And whoever's up front, if it is Conway and Latty Laugh, they can spin and use their pace and close down and then you're away up the field. But this constant pass, blowing the pants off everybody. And everybody's venting their spleen. And rightly so, because I see the same. I used the word born last week. Second half today, yeah, I had a few yawns thinking, just looked as if the game was petering out. We were never going to do anything. I thought we'd get a wee boost when Doak came on. Doak had a couple of step overs and a bit of pace and tried to drill in. Unlucky, hit the first man. I think was it Morris cut in and he miscued it, went by the right hand post. Timmy Leach says, shocking Bernie, tactics not working, far too slow, absolutely no end product. Joe Broomfield says, in Carrick we trust. Aaron Dank, we missing pal who went to join Bayern Munich. Sorry for my spelling, sorry. Somehow was saying that the lad who went to Bayern Munich, the coach, that we're missing him. Paul McLean says, well, hold on, that coach was there last season. I've seen the same problems that we had this season, last season. Square, pass, boring. And that coach was there, so I wouldn't entirely agree with that one. It's a long one, so respect it. Paul McLean says, fuming, Bernie. I'm glad to say fuming. We are sleepwalking into mid-table, one shot on target, poor decision making by certain players, lacking a football team. I would have started Doak. I would have, but do you know what? I thought he'll play Jones because Jones played well with there last year when they had a man sent off me 1, 4 or 5, whatever. That was my thinking, and obviously I got it. Latty Laugh would be behind Conway for me. If McGree is fit, why not play him? Hackney and Clark off it today, along with Ailing. Goal came from him. We looked toothless up front, easy to defend against. The sharpness and our pass and our pace going forward has disappeared. We need to put this right as soon as possible. That's with Paul McLean. I wouldn't disagree with that. We're hopeless up front. This is for Colin Ibsen. Hopeless up front. We can't shoot and target. The goalie never needs to work. Do we CD practice hitting the target at all? Jones never finds a man in the box. Why isn't McGree playing? It stinks to high heaven down there. Something is very wrong at the club. I don't know that I don't get the McGree. McGree, as I say, for me, when he plays and plays well, he's the best player we've got in my opinion. Left pegged, can create, very industrious, fit as a butcher's dog when he's on his and can score the wonder goal. But he's on the bench today and he cannot get in when nothing's happening. We need somebody to ignite the game and try and get his back in the game and grab a goal or an equaliser or whatever at a point. So yeah, I find it very strange. But as I say, Jones, Azaz, Hackney, those 3 guys really need to roll their socks up and their sleeves and start showing us what they're all about, because otherwise, I'm saying it, it's not my wishes, but they're going to be left out. Carrick cannot keep going when players like that are not delivering, i.e. goals. I don't think they've scored a goal between the 3 of them. They're not creating anywhere near what they should. They're running about, they're working. I'm not saying they're hiding and cheating or anything like that, but the product's not there. If you're a winger, you need to get balls in the box. You're a defender, you need to keep clean sheets and don't funny about the back. I mean, I reflect, Jack Charlton was a manager of Middlesbrough, got the promotion season. Jack's champions, well documented. Great team. Jack would not, if you messed about at the back, and I know this, I never seen that Middlesbrough team, but I played with Jack, God rest him, with the Republic. Jack Charlton, if you messed about, if Steve Staunton on one side and Chris Morris on the other and Mick McCarthy and Kevin Moran, or Paul McGrath, if they messed about at the back, they would get taken off. He wouldn't mess about. And he used to tell out in training, you don't mess about, you don't take chances, you don't take risks. And I agree with that. I love my football, but not in the wrong areas. In our half, playing football, it's slow, it's laboured, and by doing that, Sunderland just retreated, and Edmondson, 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, well, the first 5-10 minutes, he was getting the ball, I don't know if you've seen it, and he was standing on the ball. The Sunderland strikers backed off, left him with the ball, and he was putting his foot on top of the ball and dragging it, and I'm thinking, what's going on here? And this Sunderland fan behind me sarcastically shouts, oh, you're some player, you'll end up playing for Brazil with these skills. I know he was trying to tease him in, but the Sunderland players weren't biting. They were just sitting there going, come on then, what are you going to do? And then he gets it out of feet and then he plays it left or right, and then it's a slow, laborious passing again. Kevin Ellis says, another, just steadless performance. Dear God, you want to get that man out of your head. Burnley, if current results don't improve, would definitely get sacked. Or you're questioning me? Hey, any manager goes for now to Christmas and gets ranked bad results, they'll be gone. Carrick's no silly man, he knows that. I thought we go today, I said today before going into the game, the scorers of the first goal won the game. And that's what happened. Obviously I didn't put money on it, it's only a guess. But that's what I thought today. And then when I seen the way we were, our lack of creativity, a lot of the ball, but it's for coat no knickers, isn't it? Looks a bit glamorous, but it's nothing. It's not glamorous, because there's no product at the end. Jones very lazy, Bernie. But Keith, if Jones is lazy, whose fault's that? Jones, Carrick, Woodgate? Give him a rock up with his arse. There's only one way to do it. You're at the team. This kid's in. Scottish International's in. Doak, he's out there. Give him a run of games. Let's see what he can do. And if he doesn't, you better roll your sock and get back in the team and fight for your place. Some people now, like Jones and company and Hackney, they're thinking, oh, we're first team regulars now. And they are, and they have been. But now we've got a 28-man squad. You cannot rely on that. If I scored 30 last season, and this is the start of the season now, and I've got one goal, and Big Clark has got more goals than me as a centre-half, I'm panicking. I'm going to be out of the team. So I need to do that. Come on. Get goals. Start demanding the ball and telling players, teammates, where I want the ball. You have to fight. You have to fight for the rights, and you have to start giving them it verbally. Daniel Jones, hiya Daniel. Middlesbrough, what a loader. It's rhythmical, like Tommy Tit today against Sunderland. Claire Boulder says, didn't cause enough of a threat. Was easy for Sunderland. Let's face it, wasn't many chances in the game. But Sunderland took theirs. Goalkeepers had little to do. Dropping too many points today. Portsmouth and Preston at home. Derby away. Yeah, you're right in saying that, Claire. Two newly promoted teams this season. We've drawn against both of them at home, where we're meant to be a fortress at the Riverside. And the other game we got off the hook with a penalty. Some people would argue it wasn't a penalty, we got a penalty. And Conway scored it, kept his cool and composure. But we really need to, we need to start changing the, we need to be more, we're still good in the eye, but doing nothing. As I say, you're faking it to a degree. Pass, yeah, we've got all the ball, yeah. We get all that. But in the last third we want the ball. In the last third we want crosses. In the last third we want quality. And we're not getting it. And it has to be a certain kind of delivery. And Jones and co, when they get the ball, I say it every week on here. Surely we train. You get the ball, get out your feet, whip it in, behind the defence. Best ball in the game. No matter how deep you are. If you're even over the halfway line and they're pushing up, get out your feet, whip it into the space. And let the forwards gamble. We've got pace up there. Lackey Laugh and Conway work hard. And the two of them's got a bit of pace and a bit about them. I think Borough fans, Borough fans today, as I was heading to the car, they were saying, Bernie, you wouldn't score in this team. No, I wouldn't like playing this team. A couple of years ago, I'd love to have played. I would have got goals now with my club suit on. When Giles and company was there, putting balls in a sixpence or on a plate. Paul Ronald says, can't face talking about it, Bernie. This season, my bad language and moods have got bad. Laying off football for a bit up the borough. I'll respect your thinking, Paul. That's the way it gets you. It gets you. Then the day, football. But football's a big part of life for a lot of people, and they get motivated with it and go to work the spring when they're stepping the Monday if they're fortunate enough to have a job. And I get all that. I totally get it. I mean, I heard the passion run about me. There was they thought it was a penalty. Everyone thought that's a penalty. They were wanting to kill the referee. I watched it in the lounge at half time. It wasn't a penalty. But I get it. The passion and the adrenaline pumping. Watched it today from Romania, Graham. I wish I was in Romania. Very pretty until the last third. Then we don't have a clue. One shot all game is not really good enough. But Graham, previous games we've had loads of chances and fluffed them and missed them and not been ruthless or clinical enough. Today, we don't get any. I thought the law averages said if you keep creating chances, and I still believe it, then you will eventually score. And then you're on a bit of a run. Especially if you're a forward-thinking player. But after today, I'm thinking, then you're looking to Stoke and thinking they've sacked a manager, they've got done the day. We have to win it. I don't think there's any ifs or buts. We need to beat Stoke next Saturday because the big games are coming up. Get Mowbray and Bernie for Kieran Basnett. For say something else. Wayne says they're getting to the edge of the box and don't know what to do after that. Backwards, forwards, outside, the edge of the box. Latty is miles off from last season. Hopefully this fixes soon. Well, Wayne, Latty laugh, obviously his head was turned talking about Ipswich, never happened. He did get a whacking today that he looked as if he came off it to get back on again. But he's trying to find a partnership with Conway, and that's difficult as well. I've had it with Davenport and a host of strikers. I had about 10 strikers at Middlesbrough. It doesn't just happen overnight and in 2 or 3 games. You have to work at it. Dozen, 14 games, half a season to get to know what's in your mate's mind and how you're going to work as a pair and as a partnership. So I'm not going to... So Letty laugh, head turned, got a whack the day, and obviously a new partner. So he's starting to just find his way. Again, you have to start over again. Last season's gone, don't forget. Jones hasn't looked interested for a season. Why do we start him? Bernie, you coming from Jockland. We have got to admire your respect for Borough. Andrew Smallgate. Andrew, I've been longer in England, here in Middlesbrough and Teesside, I'm proud of that, than I have in Scotland. I've been in Teesside come next October. I might if I do. 40 years, celebrating 40 years in Teesside. And I do celebrate it. I love Teesside. I love the people. I love the background, the work ethic, the steel. I didn't like the smog when I first came. But I get the humour and all that. There is still humour left in Middlesbrough. It might not be in Britain, but there is still in Middlesbrough. I heard some today up here in the northeast. But yeah, I do love the area. And obviously the team. When you're saying Jones isn't interested, that might be the look. I think he tries, but maybe he knows that he's under the cosh now. As I say, when somebody's breathing down your neck, you have to roll your sleeves up and be up for the fight, or wilt and the lad just takes your position. I think it's as straight as that. Michael Goody, hi Goody. At times we look like we're playing walking football. It's horrible to watch. We never have any shots. Do you know what it is, Michael, or Goody? I look at it and I think, there's no real conviction. Hackney had a shot first half. He didn't look to me confident or have the belief that he was going to put his laces through the ball and hit the target. And it ended up, it never got off the ground and it was slow paced and went by the post. No real conviction, belief. You need a bit of greed. First of all, you need belief. Then you need to say, do you know what? I'm fed up this tappy tip. We do it back there and we do it up here sometimes, and we're not getting balls in. I'm going to take responsibility and I'm going to beat a man, drop the shoulder, I'm going to get a shot off. If it goes out the bar, so be it. If it hits a pigeon off the stand, so be it. At least if it's a shot. It's better than getting caught in possession. You might as well finish with something. Finish with a shot or a cross in the last third. Carrick needs to go. Dear goodness, Carrick needs to go. Is that way? Stoke 1994. Well, maybe that tells you why you're saying that, because you're Stoke. Do the big Jack long ball up the field, big John Hickton style. Steve Perry, I've heard about the style. I know the style because of the Republic. I remember joining the Republic and I seen that John Aldridge, one of the most prolific scorers, great lad Aldo, one of the most prolific scorers, Liverpool and Real Sociedad. And I remember looking as I joined, get my first cap, I was age 29. Couple of games to try and cleanse a World Cup squad, and I looked at John Aldridge's record and he scored one in 16 games. And I was saying, dear God, John Aldridge, prolific scorer, how did you only get one? And then when I got into the mode of how Ireland played, everything was geared for Niall Quinn, everything was geared for Tony Cascarino. The wee man, like Aldridge, myself, David Kelly, John Byrne, we were just the donkeys. You pulled players out of position. So if Kevin Sheedy had it in the left and he looked up, he would play it up the flank. Aldridge would come out to the outside left, although he was outside left. Late back, Sheedy would whip it in and the big lad would hopefully get on the end of it. It worked, don't get me wrong, it worked. It worked against England. First game of the World Cup, 1990 in Italia, 1-1. Worked against Holland, Romania. So Jack knew what he was doing tactically. He was up there. But some of the football was, yeah. Well, I remember a critic called Eamon Dunphy used to hammer it. I disagree. We were average almost 20 shots on goal a game for the first 3 games. And clinical enough. Same today. Conor McGowan goes in, different game. That's for Joe. No, Joe, I says that. We've had loads of chances in the first 3 games, but not put them in beds. But then you think, if we dry up the game off at 1, next week we need to create a boatload again. But how many do you, some games we're going to play against like West Brom and Sheffield United, you might get 2 chances, 3 chances. You need to put 1 away. Are we clinical, ruthless and selfish enough to put opposition teams to bed and finish it off? I'd like to think my track record as a goal scorer was 1 every 2.5 games. What it was? 1 every 2.5 games. We're getting 20 chances and no scoring any. We scored against Preston. First, that wasn't a different game. Cop out. We scored against Preston. First, that wasn't a different game. Cop out. Don't know what you mean, Scott. But 1 goal in open play, that says it all. That's a stat and a fact. We've not made it up. And that's not good enough. 20 chances, 3 games, 60 chances in total. We score, got 1 goal here and 1 goal there. But the performance today was poor. Carrick needs to drop Jones for the next game and replace with Doak. I think that will happen now. After watching today, and I don't wish anybody to lose a position. I've been there and it's difficult and I get that. But if you're not doing it, Sunderland 7 points ahead. I've already mentioned that. What's winning is 1 goal from open play. Exactly. Well, I mentioned that. 1 goal from open play. I mean, if I'm a striker at Middlesbrough, and I'm looking at 6 league games, and I'm thinking, Big Clark, the centre-back's got more goals than me. I'd be hiding under the bed. I'd be embarrassed, humiliated. But it wouldn't happen. I don't believe it would happen. There's no way in this planet the centre-half should have more goals than a striker. And I'm not pointing the finger at Conway, he's hardly played a game, but like last been in, part of the cups he's been in, I meant we never went to 1 even. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I get that. Okay, sorry about that. But the performance was poor. Carrington to drop, we mentioned that. Hi, Bernie. For Neil O'Donnell. Neil from Perth, Australia. Bye, we're getting them from all over the world. Hi, Neil. Only seen the second half, but I thought our centre midfield had no drive and did not commit any opposition players, which makes it very easy to play against. We could do with a Jude Bellingham. Or Joby Bellingham, sorry, not Judy's brother, of course. He looked good. Well, do you know what? Bellingham, I said before the game, I've watched Sunderland. And I've watched Jude Bellingham's brother, Job. And I thought, never really impressed me. He impressed me today. He's not got pace, but I don't know what size of boot, but every time the ball looked as if it was going to a Borough player, he would get his gadget leg out with his size 14 boot, and he seemed to nick it time and time and time again. And he was passing it, he was spraying balls about. He had a good game, that lad, today. I thought Doak looked good when he came off the bench or on up the Borough. Neil, I agree with you. Doak's Don't sort of mirror image of Jones. I know people say, what are you on about? No. When Jones first came in the team, Jones was a breath of fresh air, direct, skillful, tricky, fast, scored, created. I don't know if it's been coached out of him. He's a shadow of the player that first came into the team. We don't see many players that we take on a player Doc did when he came on. That's a good point as well. So when you're a wide player, I played with a few. I played with Stuart Ripley, won the Premier League with Blackburn Rovers, played with Alan Comfort, who's now a vicar down south, played with John Henry. These were all great wingers. And fearless wingers would take a chance in the opposing half. If you get caught, at the worst, they win possession, and that's a crime to give the ball to the opposition. But in the main, they usually kick it out or tackle you and you get a throw in. But we have nobody bold or brave enough to go at them. But this boy Doak looks as if he's got it. I agree with that. Doak gets the ball. His first trainer thought he gets turned, or he sets up his body half in half, facing the defender, gets it, and he goes directly at him. He cuts in. He can go on the outside, and he showed that today. He showed more in the 15-20 minutes he was on than we did. 70 minutes. At least Newcastle got beat, Bernie. Different division. Sorry about that. Michael Ditchburn says, get McGree back on that left hand side instead of Azaz. He's poor. He's been poor all season. How many games does he keep ineffective before Carrick drops him? That's one of the issues I have with Carrick, keeping faith with players not doing it. Who's that from? That's from Michael Ditchburn. Well, I think after today, I think he has to seriously think making 2 or 3 changes. For me, he still needs a settled team. As I say, this season, I'm not buying into injuries. We've got 28-man squad. Plenty of players there. How good they are, I don't know, but some I don't even know, but we've got a big squad. Should see us through the winter. But if players are not doing it, and as I say, the stats tell you 8 points behind West Brom if they're winning or still winning or won the day. 7 points behind Sunderland. That's a bit of a gap this early in the season. It feels we have too many holding midfielders. Not one can go past the player and really feed that killer pass. As I say, if I was Hackney's pal, or his dad, or his advisor, or his agent, or his teammate, I'd be saying, listen, you've got great engines, you're a young lad, start being selfish, go for it, get shots off, stay behind every day, bag of balls, get a keeper, young reserve keeper, in you go kid, shot, do it every day. I've done it myself. I don't know if modern players do it. I would hope Hackney would. He's a right kid lad. He should be grounded. I'm sure he is a grounded kid. I've only ever spoken to him once. I found him very accommodating and grounded. But he has to take it in board himself to say, right, I'm going to start scoring goals here. I remember reading McGree, tail end of last season, to improve and get to another level and to score more goals. So McGree's saying about himself. And you have to be honest with yourself. Do I do enough? Hackney's an attacking midfielder. McGree's an attacking midfielder. Morris can be attacking midfielder. Howson's not. But if you're classed as an attacking midfielder, you need to go for the jugular and go for it and try to score goals and create things and cause havoc in opposing defence. You can't just go through the season tossing it off saying, oh, I ran 100 miles and put a few tackles in and played it back to Randolph 5 million times. You start going, I've made 10 goals, I've scored 8 goals. That's what you call contribution. You cannot just leave it in the forwards. We like conviction, Bernie. We don't take our chances. You still got your boots. Still, yeah, I've got my boots, but unfortunately they're walking boots. Need a Merson, someone like that. No, he wouldn't turn up. No, it's a joke in there, because obviously when he does talks, he doesn't turn up. I still don't buy people that buy into Merson up here. He doesn't turn up, and yet people are still booking him. People are still paying money to see him, and he doesn't turn up. It's a shame. I have to question some of the mindsets of people. I still think we will come good. I'm sure we have more points than last season. Oh, well, yeah, 8, but we played nobody really. Today was the first tester, Dave Ditchburn. So Dave's saying we'll still turn around, up the bottom, move on. Sunderland will finish below us. No, come on, David, unless you've got a crystal ball and you're a clairvoyant and you're doing it at Stokesley Fair, sitting in a caravan with a tea towel over your head, reading a crystal ball and saying, no, I don't believe that. You can't just write Sunderland off. Did I look and think Sunderland's well? No. But the guy Rigg who scored the goal, I was told about him before the game with the two lads behind me. Sunderland fans says, watch Rigg, he won't be here next year, he's some player. He looked the part. The two wingers, they looked the part. So they've got outlets and they've got quality. Getting rid of Coburn was a mistake as he offered a different style of forward play. Our season improved when he started playing up front last season. Well, time will tell. I always thought, and if you rewound these over last season, I just kept saying that I don't think Coburn's a Carrick player. And I've been proved right. And I knew he would be gone. And he is. The Barzog lad, I think he could play the role of Coburn. I think he's something different. I'm sure he looks quite aggressive. I've not overseen him. But what I've seen, I think he could go up there competing and battling and scrapping and biting into people and elbowing people. Legally, of course. Excuse me, David Campbell says, give it time. These players will connect. We will hit form after the next international break. Azaz doesn't do enough in the luxury 10 position. Once McGree is fit, he needs to be in. Well, number 10 position, it was like Laughing Conway. They were the two up front. They were the front man. They were changing over time and time again. Azaz was more to the left, but drifting. But I just think we've still got a team out of sync. We need a left winger. McGree can play that role. I'm sure he can. Well, he's done it. I still don't know if he's not left winger. I still like to see McGree number 10, but everybody wants to be number 10. Left winger, right winger. Dope, we've got right wing. He can play there. Can the lad Hamilton play on the left? Maybe he's the outlet on the left. And then if the front two don't connect and don't do it, like Laughing and Conway, then you maybe put McGree up there. So you could put Hamilton on one side, put Doak on the right, and put those two up front. Sunderland better team, bit annoyed by the Borough performance. We looked stale and could have passed the ball around the boxes if you Andy Edgar all day without movement and then he shots at goal. Yes, I say the shots at goal. When you're a player, the midfield's got the ball, I'm up front. You sort of go halfy and you make sure you know where your teammates are. My idea would be get the ball as a front man, play it, probably because I'm left peg, the majority of the left wing, get it to the left winger, spin, and then it's up to me to lose my man. And that's how you get in there to get on the end of things. But when it comes in, it has to be a certain kind of delivery, a whipped rather than a hoof high up in the air. But it's all about quality. It's about quality and outlets and getting behind defenders, but we never got behind them today. Loads of the ball, but how many times did we get the byline and get balls over? Not a lot. Paul McLean can we knock it? Let's talk about. Are you watching the boxing, Bernie? 95,000 at Wembley. Boxing, mental. Yeah, I'll be watching a bit of the boxing tonight. Bernie, we are boring to watch. I used that word last week. Look, Michael Carrick, first season, amazing. Best football I've seen and my former teammates. Best we've seen for 30, 40 years. Amazing. Under the same guy, Michael Carrick. Last season, hit missy, bad start. Lifted it a bit, then injuries, and then we missed it in playoffs. This season, an indifferent start. I want to see that first season. And the way we're going to achieve it is to get the right players in the right positions. We're still playing square pegs round holes. We're still thinking, oh, we'll try him there. Still experimenting. And I get that because it's still only 6 league games in. But surely you would experiment in the cup game we get knocked out of. That would be the game to experiment with your first teamers. Saying that, midweek, talking about, I heard that Ange Postecoglou, excuse me, talking about cup competition and he wins a cup every second season, he wins a trophy or whatever. And then during the week he goes and he makes 8-9 changes and they're getting beat and he scores late on by fluke, by default or whatever. As I say, use guys that all go, yeah, knocked out the cup, concentrate in the league. Well, how have we done since we've been knocked out the cup? It's a myth. So boring, yeah, it's a bad word to use, but I use it as well. Today required someone just to leave an elbow in, put someone in a stand, have a bit of a devil in them, yeah. Instead, we're slow, predictable, what I wouldn't give for a bit of aggression. Neil, that's a fair point as well. When I played against Sunderland, no me, I wasn't the aggressor. Gary Hamilton, Hammy, first chance. This is what you'd be told by the manager. First chance, straight through the ball, straight through the opponent. You're making a statement of intent. You're in a game today. This is a derby game. You know my thing it is, but it is. And we're going to show you, we're up for it. And that sets the tone of the game. Let's say no. Hey, you better watch it. They're right up for it. Didn't see it. Didn't see it. I've seen it in the past, but I didn't see it today. That's what it needs. Set the tone of the game right from the off. I remember I watched my boyhood hero Celtic against Aberdeen. Can't remember the lad's name. Cooper. He was Hartlepool manager after his career. I remember him playing up in Aberdeen, and Celtic took the kick-off, started the game, and was it Neil Cooper? Neil Cooper, blonde curly haired lad, God rest him. Anyway, Celtic took the kick-off, and Neil Cooper just flew like a man possessed and just wiped somebody right up there. I don't think it's sent off. It should have been sent off, but he would have been told. He'd have been wound up to no ends. First chance, boom. I can't remember the score that day if it did set the tone of the game, but I remember that. But that's what happens, 10 minutes. Right. For me, Morris is a machine. Have him playing more aggressive for a yank. That man is my kind of player. Morris is an honest kid. It wasn't brilliant today, but he didn't hide. He tried his damnness. Still one goal in it and player Colin. I've covered that one. That's one thing. If I was in the team, I'd be saying that to the press afterwards. Pamela Metcalf says, Bernie, where will it end? Same old Borough. It's like they're frightened to shoot. Great show, Bernie. Thank you, Pamela. Pamela Metcalf. If you don't shoot, it's criminal. If you're an attack midfielder, you have to shoot. Anything can happen. Hit somebody in the head, hit somebody's arse, goalkeeper slips, it rolls in the bottom hand corner. Anything can happen. But if you don't shoot, you're never going to score. Borough is fine today. What is this? Borough is fine today. What are you on about? Hi, Borough is fine today. Gary, I think you've been on the old juice. And I don't mean lemonade. Stuart Gurley says, if he continues with McGree like he is, he'll be on his way. I think that's why a long contract was given to his upmarket value. Carrick needs to get this sorted fast before the natives turn on. Obviously, that was one guy I thought would have been gone this summer. I got it wrong. Everything was indicating that, I don't think he's happy here. There's things going on and he's not getting a game and he's been taken off 3 games in the bounce. And then this season, injured, don't know the injury, on the bench, not getting on. I question it as well. But whatever the problem is, surely he cannot be injured if he's on the bench. If you're injured, you don't go on the bench. He puts, he's on the bench, but he's injured. But what good's that? To give the team a boost, get him off the bench and get him on. I was amazed Sunderland were top of the league. But a far better team. But fatting about, passing it sideways, gets you nothing. This is for Steve Daly. Passing it sideways gets you nothing. Hackney wasted too many passes. He did. I'm sure the lad knows that. Jones again starting ahead of Doak. Or Hamilton, total joke. As I say, I think there'll be changes Saturday. I really do think there'll be a couple of changes Saturday. And then hopefully we win and then we settle it down. Conway missed a sitter. Conway will know. He got the position. It was a great ball in for the right. He got up there. He's unmarked. He's 6 yards out, middle of the goal. You're looking for a downward header. And he kept a height on it and it clipped the bar. It was a sitter. Should have scored. Steve Dale says, no final product. No one prepared to take the ball with the horns. That's a good saying. An attack instead of playing fancy passing crap. Someone to actually have a goal. Well, it takes. You need to be ambitious. You need to be fearless. You need to take responsibility. Don't be afraid of shanking it or hit the corner flag or hitting an opponent or missing a target. Have a go. But as I say, the modern, if I was in that Borough camp now, as a coach or a trainer or whatever, and I was talking to the lads, I said, listen, Hackney, Morris, McGree, Jones, bag of balls every day. For now to the end of the season, twice a week, after the official training sessions in the morning, or your day off, come in, bag of balls, get a young goalkeeper, put them in, get the balls, shoot. It'll work if you put the work in. I've done it. Bruce used to wind me up. I used to say, can't head the ball. Guy in the wing, head, scored 2 in the next 2 games because Bruce would wind me up. Oh, you don't score for outside the box. Shooting, balls, shoot. I'm not saying they all hit the net, they're all flying on the bar and in gardens and all that. But I practice, and you get better at it. It's like golfers with it, they get me 1,000 balls. Good night everyone. God bless you all. Have a great week ahead. Up the Borough. That's for Dan Smith. He's got to bed early. You please send me your good. Dear me, what are you on about, Gaz? Gaz, are you on that drink? So I'm a Borough supporter, but I don't go because, quite frankly, it's boring. I'd rather watch Strictly Come Dancing. What? Strictly Come Dancing? By God, Andy, away, man. You'd rather watch Strictly Come Dancing than the Borough? Well, no, that boring. What is it about Strictly you like? And don't tell me it's the dancing. Tony Smith says, total crap, slowest pace derby I've ever seen, poor crossing, when they actually did cross, poor balls, control around, in and around the box, Finn Azaz, only ever side foot a shot, shots blind man could have scored Conway's header. Yeah, that was the one. If we score that, I think the dynamics change, even that early in the game. Watching this today, not many have an attacking mentality. They want to walk the ball into the net, never going to work. This is for Steve Daly. You're never going to work with these tactics. But it's up to you. If I'm at training and Carrick's continually saying, I played with experienced managers. Carrick's still a novice in comparison with Rark and guys like I played with Colin Todd and who played under Cloughie and all these guys and Villa as players and managers. I would turn around in a session and say, well, why would you continue to do this? I'd be saying it training first thing Monday. I'd be saying it after the game, but I would refresh it on Monday. I'd be saying, why do we continue to fanny about the back? Why do we keep doing it? We're not good at it. What I'm saying here, I would say in the dressing room. To experience longevity managers, been in the game 20, 30 years, I would say that. What's wrong with that? That's called debate. It's healthy. Why are we not having shots? Come on, why are you not having a shot? Whatever Hackney's nickname is, why are you not having a shot? And what about you? And you get the balls in, Jones, keep it in the first man, what are you doing? What's up with that? I don't know if modern players do that. It's bonkers. I bet they pussyfoot around each other. I'm not talking about Middlesbrough, all over the planet these days. Oh, we better not upset Johnny, oh, we can't say that, we can't say... Yeah, you can. Give them a rock up their ass. Wake them up. If they're not doing the business, you get a rocket. I'm not saying fighting. Verbally, give your teammates, if they're your teammates and you truly love them and you've got ambition, give them a rocket. Don't pussyfoot around. Tell them the truth. Go for the jugular and say it's about time you started going for the jugular when we got in that park. Waking them up. Like laugh at the chance trying to lob the keeper and went wide the post. Good chance. He did well to get into the position. He's beat the keeper, the on-rushing keeper. He's flicked it over by the right-hand post. I thought it was actually looking in, but I think it was a fair bit off the goal. But it was half a chance. It wasn't out and out. You get in there. It's a difficult technique. Bernie, you don't look 40. You need to do a fitness video about Andy's something up your eyes, son, and go to the opticians, mate. Hey, I still look after myself. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble, I don't take drugs, I'm vegan, I train, I walk my dogs, I do a bit of boxing training. But yeah, I don't look 40. Anyway, Trevor Chavez says, there's no finer place to live than Middlesbrough Bernards. People down south call it area, but they haven't seen the lovely countryside we have at our disposal and some great places to visit. Like the great Mr. Clough says, we are only 20 minutes from the seaside. Also, I'm proud of where I was born and bred. Lovely place to live. And you're right, Trevor. I do it all the time. I post things. I say get your daily exercise in. Try to encourage people to get off their arse if they're fit enough to get up and go a walk and enjoy the scenery and the beauty we've got up here in the northeast. Talking about Brian Clough, there's a clip on my YouTube, Total BS. You can backtrack, or you can look on. I put it on yesterday because it was the 20th anniversary of the late great Brian Clough. I interviewed him many years ago, and it's on now, part 1. And if you're a Clough fan, you'll absolutely love it. You know, I talked to him like a mate. That's the first time I'd really met him. It was at his mate's house in Manchester, and he's direct, and some of the words you would be embarrassed about some of the words that he uses, and some of the... I enjoyed it, I loved it, and I still love it. Doesn't offend me, but in the modern day, those squeaky clean good people who, if you see a word out of sight, want to crucify you, well, Cloughie would be hung, drawn and quartered if it was today. But great interview. No interview from my point of view. If you Cloughie's, some of the stories great, and the way he talks about jumping in the back of a potato truck to get to Great Broughton to play football and chase the sheep off the field, and amazing. Just the way he talks, ultra charming, opinionated, funny. Yeah, Cloughie had it all, didn't he? Dear me. And I put a picture out yesterday as well with the statue, and somebody went, "Oh, have you took the corrugated iron off?" No, that was a picture about 4 or 5 years ago. The iron's still round it. Ridiculous. Get it moved. Watmore has scored 1 less league goal than our whole squad put together. Andrew, you try to depress us even more than today. Dear me, I'm just back for the Stadium of Light. We aren't creating enough chances in play. That's for Bite Chain. Bite Chain. It's a good name. Bite Chain. We've created loads of chances, not in a few games, and not took them today. Have to hold our hands up. We only made one and hit the target once, and that's no good enough. Absolutely pitiful performance today. Kieran Scott can churn out all the propaganda he likes in BBC T as well. Jay Shaw, but the fact of the matter is the club is going nowhere fast. Attendances will start dropping fast. As I say, let's get 14 games. I said it last season. First 7 we hadn't won, and everybody, and I was criticising as well, and rightly so, we deserved it. But let's 14 games. We might settle down, might beat Stoke, and then we go on a run, and the striker starts scoring, and then we're away. But if 14 games coming, we're still fanning about the back, not scoring goals and missing chances and not taking responsibility, then we'll all be on here saying the same thing. Where am I? I'm over. And I'll read these on my YouTube channel. I had to read that because there's a word in there. Trevor Chaff says, Cockburn is not the answer. He's not a goal scorer. He's a trier, and that's it, unfortunately. Are we missing Danks? Sean McMahon. Mark Waiter says, passionless, or less. Borough picking Sunderland players up off the deck after the fitness challenges. I've seen that. I'll tell you who done it. Well, I've seen one anyway. To shake their hands. What's that all about? It's an effing derby. Should be telling them to effing get up instead. Mark, I think you're referring to Conway. Early doors, Conway filled one of the lads, and the lad was lying in a heat, and Miran picked him up. That wasn't happening in my day. No way. I looked at them as absolute enemies, and I didn't want anything to do with them. After the game, I'd shake their hand without a doubt, but during the game, no. I remember Christensen kicked me, and then Birdie done Christensen in Newcastle, and then big Birdie was giving it the donkey thing. Oh no, there was no love lost in those derby games. But a lot of people don't know the importance of derby games. His press conference about the positives of being the better team have the feeling of Wilders and its obsessions with Samuel Elliott with XG. I'll read one more, run out of time. Chris Andrews says, what's that say? Go on earth, Israeli that Aussie not playing, he's just signed the contract. Yeah, but he signed a 4-year contract, and then we thought, right, he's going to be on the team. Then he's by all accounts got an injury. Don't know what the injury is, but he's on the bench, which would say to me that he can play a cameo appearance. Maybe he can't play 90 minutes, but surely he can get on today. Maybe he'll pop out next week for the Stoke game and play the whole game. So this coming Monday, Total BS podcast, I talked to Andy Payton. Andy Payton came. A lot of people at the time were saying Andy was going to replace me, and I remember going to Lennon and say, I don't care how much you've spent in Andy or anybody, but judges on what we do in the park. And then Andy, first game scored, I scored, Andy got injured. And then Andy's career was short-lived, and we talked about it, obviously, regarding Middlesbrough, and then he talks about his move to Celtic, Burnley, Hull City. Andy had a very good career, and Andy was prolific goal scorer, he was fast. He walked like spring in his step, and he was fast, Andy. And I asked him about the time we played Wolves got promotion, because Andy played a big part in getting us promotion that season. So, worth listening to. It's free, obviously. So, Total BS podcast this Monday, part 1 with Andy Payton. Yeah, and he talks about his time at Middlesbrough and his other clubs, and didn't really settle, and one or two lads didn't really get on, whatever. Listen to it and hopefully you'll enjoy it. The last one I had done was Gary Gill. I've had Donna Reardon. I've got another couple lined up, so they're coming thick and fast, but I want to give you entertainment, but I want to see entertainment when I go and watch the Borough, whether it's a Riverside, Stadium of Light, or anywhere in the country. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and thanks as always to sponsors, Galaxy Blinds, GRS Insulation, Cornerstone, Smith & Friends Estate Agent, Cleveland Systems Engineering, Advanced Utility Solutions, Dovecot, Ultra Build, and TGM Cars. I'm going to read 3 more out just off the hoof. Matt Scott says, we try to control everything, so boring to watch, isn't bringing results. I think Carrick has run out of ideas. It's so boring. It's like watching England under Southgate. Dear me, Matt, is it that bad? Gary Clark says, how can Finn Azaz get in the team ahead of Riley McGree? Unbelievable. And the last one, Tony Brown says, Bernie, what do you think of your Chris Rigg? You're talking about the boy Rigg that played for you. Is very good. I was talking about him before the game. He lived up to the expectations, and I don't want to finish with something, man. Let's go Borough 1. Steve Daly says, Jones needs a slap. I wouldn't go as far as a slap. Very rarely passes past first man. Frustrating. Good way to end. Okay, thanks very much for joining us. Disappointing, losing any derby game. I class it as derby game. The fans certainly do. It was just a disappointing day all round.